RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude. Fish on.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy Monday to you. Happy TBT Once a Bronco week to you here at Bronco Nation News, at BroncoNationNews.com. We're back from Vegas. We're recharged after football media days, and we got a lot of fun coming up this week as we shift back towards basketball. Nothing really going on football-wise this week. They got that extra week, before fall camp starts now on July 31st. So figured it was a perfect time with the TBT team back in town to really focus on basketball. And we're starting a new series as well. Mountain West basketball coaches every day this week and next week. We'll have a Mountain West basketball coach join us as we talk Mountain West basketball. I think I've said this before, but I'm doing the Lindy's Magazine preview that you get at Walgreens. I'm doing a lot of stories for that, and I'm doing the Mountain West teams. And so figured, hey, let's get some summer basketball content here on Bronco Nation News and kill 2 birds with 1 stone for the Lindy's Magazine stuff. So Sundance Wicks, the new head coach at Wyoming, high energy, super, a guy to talk to. And so looking forward to catching up with Sundance Wicks today as we talk Wyoming basketball. I think you'll enjoy it, his perspective and his energy, as I said. And we'll have Coach Rice later this week. We'll have Coach Calhoun down at Utah State. And then Friday, I thought it made sense on Friday, the day of the TBT game, we'll have Jeff Grammer from the Albuquerque Journal come on and preview the matchup from the New Mexico side. And then Nico Medved, the head coach at New Mexico, will join us Friday as well. So tons of basketball talk this week. I do want to give a quick thank you to all of our guys as part of the football coverage last week down in Vegas. Jay Tuss, John Mallory, Mike Prater, Mike Sanford, just awesome content. And those guys stepped up to the plate, and I really appreciate their time and coming on. And when I needed to, get out for a few minutes, one of them would come take over and keep the stream going. So super appreciative of all of our team at Bronco Nation News and what we were able to accomplish down there in Las Vegas. So appreciate everybody for checking out all the coverage. Again, we had 6 straight hours of coverage, back-to-back days. It was a lot of fun. And I really appreciate everybody that helped us out. And thank you again to all of our sponsors for making that happen. And James Reid is going to join us in just a minute to talk about this TBT team, and I'm super excited about that. But I do need to make sure our sponsors get proper coverage on this because, this free show you're watching right now is not possible without some very generous donations from some of our sponsors. Folks like Taco Bell, the Nicolason Family SON Management Group, that they're one of our major sponsors. We're super appreciative of them. So please go support Taco Bell and go eat there for your next meal. And we'll tell you more about them. You know a lot about them already, but we're really, really appreciative to folks like Taco Bell, folks like Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We tell you so much about their banking, but they're a major player here at Bronco Nation News and keeping the show for free for you. So we really appreciate you supporting ICCU. The Blue and Orange Store, Travis Oxen Company, another big one for us at blueandorangestore.com. Please go buy your Boise State gear for the season at the Blue and Orange Store. Let them know you heard about it on Bronco Nation News, and we would really, really appreciate that. Lithia Ford of Boise, obviously, is a big one as well. You're looking to purchase a new vehicle, please go do it at Lithia Ford of Boise. I would really, really appreciate it. And we thank Lithia Ford of Boise for all of their support as a major sponsor for Bronco Nation News. And, of course, rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. There would be no BNN without rowpaint.com. So please support the sponsors. You got a painting project out there, let the professionals handle it for you. Those concrete coatings as well. Highly recommend the folks there at rowpaint.com. So all of our major sponsors, I just wanted to say an extra thank you to them because we've got a lot of other sponsors, obviously. And, of course, Boucher Real Estate. We'll tell you more about him in a minute, what he's doing with the TBT team. Our friends at Ridley's Family Markets and all their locations at shopridleys.com. Cutwater Spirits and the different flavors they have of Cutwater Spirits and Stein Distributing. Transportation Compliance Service, the trucking industry, obviously. Timberstone Golf Course is another one of our sponsors. Lean Feast, going to be ordering some Lean Feast here today. We'll tell you more about them later in the show. And, of course, Circa and what they got going on with the football contest. But all of our sponsors make this show free of charge for you, and we really appreciate what they're doing. And hopefully we can keep it going here for a long time on the YouTube side, at least, to be free of charge. So please support the sponsors if you can. Please thank them for what they're doing. If you liked the 12 hours of coverage down there from Media Days, it was because of those sponsors right there. So thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody involved. I thought it was a great couple of days in Vegas, and I thought everybody went all the coverage went great. Everything went smooth, and thanks to everybody again. David is asking about tickets for Wednesday. We will get right to our guest here until he can answer that question for you. James Reid, TBT General Manager, Coach. He is now in Boise. They have got practice tonight. I'm looking forward to going to that and checking out practice and getting a little bit of footage to put up on social media for everybody. We'll have some interviews later today as well. But TBT Once a Bronco, weeks, months in the works, and the week is finally here. James Reid, welcome to Boise, man. Going to be a fun week.
Yeah, absolutely, BJ. Thank you for having me. As the fans know, there's a lot that's gone into this, and we're grateful for you and helping us get that word out there. And we're really just excited to be here. The guys rolled in over the weekend, and every single one of them, myself included, was just excited to touch ground and get to the gym and get to see each other. So we're excited to be here.
We're going to get into some of the details of the various events here, but obviously it's gearing up for Wednesday, Bora High School, July 17th, 6 p.m. That's this Wednesday, so 2 days from now on Wednesday, the Bronco Legends Classic, 3-point contest, dunk contest, and a full TBT game. We're going to announce the local pros roster that they're playing against here in a minute. We're still working on some final details in terms of the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. Hopefully, whether you just send me the list, James, or whether you pop back on tomorrow or Wednesday, we can hopefully announce those details. But hopeful that the current team will be involved in that, going against the former team, and we'll finalize that here shortly. But Wednesday night, 6 p.m., again, $10 for a ticket to come see this team and this roster. Fill us in on the, before we get to some of the specifics, but what's going to be going on Wednesday, and why should folks come?
Look, I think, it's an exciting all-around event. We've got a couple of food trucks out there. We've got Scotty's Hot Dogs. We've got Knack Attack. We know it's going to be warm, so we've got Shaved Ice, and we've got Idaho Spring Water Company has donated a bunch of water as well. So you've got all the fixings that you'll need coming from a work day, and then we get in the gym. And, the folks over at Bora High School have been awesome to work with. I think it's the perfect venue for the fan to come see pro basketball up close, come see some fun contests, and come watch a TBT structured pro basketball game for a price that can really make it worth it and get you and the family and hopefully everyone there. So we're excited. It's going to be a really fun time on Wednesday.
Yeah, we can't wait. And again, $10 for the tickets. I mean, that's pretty much a steal at this point. And we're talking about as we've had every week, your favorite Broncos of the last decade here playing in this game. This is not the finalized graphic, but some of the guys, and maybe update us on the roster. I know there's one or two guys that ended up injury wise not being able to participate. You've added a few players. Fill us in on the roster.
Yeah, so we've had a bit of change lately. This is the nature of TBT. All of these guys are pro basketball players, many of which in between contracts that pay their bills. And so nature of it a little bit. We've had 3 guys that were committed at one stage sign contracts, which is great. This makes my job a little bit tougher. But Derek Alston signed one of the best contracts that's been signed by a Boise State basketball player in Spain. And he was bummed when he called me and told me he wasn't going to be able to play because the club wasn't allowing him to play. Him and his agent really pushed to be able to because of how much DA loves this place and wanted to play with these guys. But he's going to meet up with us in Houston. So when you check in with us on Friday against New Mexico down there, you'll see him on the bench. Riley Abercrombie was going to meet us down there. He signed a contract in England, and Kevin Allen signed a contract for right now in Mexico. So these guys moved out. We've also got to replace them with some guys that played here as well. Cam Oluyatin, who played here when I was playing here. He's had a very nice career, 6'7", good shooter, long wing type player that, like we've talked about a little bit on the basketball front, really fits what we're trying to do as well. And then we got a big man from Seattle who I know personally and is 6'11", 260, and really shoots the heck out of the ball. Just shot 43% in his rookie season in Poland. And, as bummed as we are that he's not a Bronco, in the sense that we really want this to be a Bronco thing, I think he complements our guys at a really high level. And, we had our introduction team meeting last night, and guys are starting to get a feel for how we're going to play and how they fit with each other. And I couldn't be more excited about, how we've been able to handle, somewhat inevitable adversity with TBT being an off-season tournament, the structure of it as it is. And I really am excited about the group. I mean, our core group is really good and really talented, and we've got our hands full Friday, don't get me wrong, but seeing these guys on the court over the weekend and getting in the gym with them, we've got some really good players here. And for the person that's kind of orchestrated it all, I'm just glad they're all here.
And Cam Martin unfortunately won't be able to play, right?
Yeah, so Cam, he's going to be working out with us. He's still in the mix. Hasn't gotten the clearance on his shoulder recovery to be able to play live yet. So, when I talk to all these guys, our initial conversations is like, look, the heart of this is so you're connected to the Boise State Basketball Brotherhood. And that means that if Summer League wants you, if the ACB in Spain wants you, if your body's not right, that's what you have to do first. And as selfishly bummed that I am that DA can't make it, or a Cam Martin isn't going to be quite healthy enough in time. We were working on the Chandler Hutchisons and the Drimmicks and the Webbies of the world, and for various reasons, this time around just didn't make sense. But as you guys have seen with the other vets that have thrown videos out there this week, guys are excited. And even if this year isn't the year they're necessarily putting a jersey on, they're tuned in, they're excited, they're connected. And, to be at day one of training camp and game week now with the group we do have with boots on the ground in Boise, we've done a really good job organizing the hoops front. So we're all excited.
Yeah, you did say it's kind of hopefully a multi-year process. You're hoping maybe even as early as next year you can host this regional in Boise, and I'm sure that would help attract some the highest of highest level former Boise State players if they had a chance to come back in Boise. So you're kind of laying the foundation this year, making this thing that people want to be a part of, the fan base, the former players. And, sometimes that takes time, but you're I think way ahead of, like I said, where it was at last time it came around a couple years ago. And certainly a heck of a roster still with a Justinian Jessup and a Derek Marks, and you go down the line of all the guys that we're going to be seeing. Okay, so practice tonight. Tell us what's kind of going on this week. I know there'll be a media event and a practice today, and also shout out Matt Bauscher as well. I know Matt Bauscher Real Estate, one of our sponsors here at BNN, just helped me buy a house and sell a house last month. He has stepped up as a big sponsor this week as well.
No, I mean, Bausch is one of our brothers, I mean, he's a guy that, not only played basketball at Boise State, but his story is what Boise State at large is all about. He's blue collar. He had to walk on to start. And by the end of his career, he's one of the best Broncos to ever play here. And then he transitions that to a successful pro basketball career, wraps that up, comes back here and starts a local business that has just flourished. And so he really is the model of what Boise State and Boise State basketball and this part of the country is about. And he's also done so much to help us make this possible. And so we are grateful as can be for Matt's involvement with Once a Bronco TBT, his logos in 2 spots on our jerseys. He's presenting the Bronco Legends Classic on Wednesday. So we've got a separate set of jerseys for that where his logo will be on there. And Bausch is one of us, and we couldn't be more grateful that he is, because who he is makes us better people. And, what he's done for us has helped make all this possible. So major thank you to Bausch.
All right, so practice a couple days, then the game on Wednesday. All right, let's get into the details of the game here. 6 p.m. on Wednesday, Bora High School. Yes, tickets are still available. $10 to come see the Justinian Jessups, Derek Marks, Thomas Broplays of the world, all your former Broncos. You're going to see these guys, Marcus Shaver Jr., Max Rice. We go down the line with the roster. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. There's going to be a 3-point contest, a dunk contest, and then a full game. Should we unveil, James, the roster of the opposing team here?
Yeah, I think now's the time.
All right, fill us in on how this kind of came about and who helped out with this. But here's the list of players that will be playing against the Broncos.
Yeah, so, we went about this in a few different ways, but I got to give a big thank you to Roberto Bergeson, Bronco legend, current assistant coach for the team. He and Reggie Larry, who's helping me coach the TBT, they live here. I've been working on this whole thing from Little Rock, and so they know the local community, they know the grassroots, and so this group of guys we have, these are guys that are from here, and these are guys that now live here. And quite honestly, it's been awesome to work with each and every one of these guys. They're excited about this event. They're excited about the opportunity. And, they've had practices as well themselves. They've got Mike Quinney coaching, who had a long playing career himself and now does some grassroots and youth level stuff in the area. But this is a high level basketball mind, pro player himself. And so they've really worked to put together a quality product themselves. And these are talented guys. I'm excited. We've talked a lot about what this event will be for us in TBT, what it will be for the program and the fans. But this is also an opportunity for these guys to get some film and have that ready to send out to their agents and possible contract situations for themselves. So we're excited to provide that platform for them. And you see some of these names here, like this is Isaiah Wright. This is 2-time Idaho Gatorade State Player of the Year from the, playing at the G League level. You got DeAndre Jones and Keyshawn Liggins and some of these guys that are very well known in the community and very good basketball players. So I'm really grateful to Reggie and Berto and all of these guys for organizing it and getting this level of a group together. And, we're excited to go have some fun and play this game on Wednesday night.
I mean, Isaiah Wright coming back to Bora High School. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. When I ran through Bora on Friday just to make sure all the logistics and everything were in place, you look up at the wall and you're like, okay, he'll be excited to play. And I'm glad that he is, because
DeAndre Jones as well. I mean, 2 Bora guys, pretty cool.
Absolutely. And good players, this is the other part here. You're not compromising in any way to get Bora guys back in Bora's gym, and they'll be ready to play. I know that these are competitive dudes top to bottom on this list. And, I expect a good game on Wednesday.
Okay. Again, tickets are $10. There's going to be a 3-point contest, a dunk contest. We're working out the final details. We'll have another announcement as we kind of continue to build the suspense here. But it's going to be a lot of fun with the current players, the former players. And again, $10 tickets. This place needs to be sold out on Wednesday night. $10, help out. And every dollar matters. So $10 for the tickets. If you're unable to come to the game, you're not living in Boise, you can also donate on the GoFundMe account right here as well. Because James, I know folks like Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate have stepped up, but you guys could still use as much help as possible.
No, absolutely. Speaking frankly, the fundraising has been the most difficult part of this, bar none. It's we've worked hard and we're excited. Later today, we're going out to meet with some kids from the Idaho Youth Sports Commission and donate some brand new pairs of shoes to them. But there's no question that every dollar matters at this juncture, even still. And so anything that anyone can give, $1, $5, all of that adds up. And just know that, after seeing these guys in the gym and knowing what we're going to do later and what we have scheduled for the rest of the week, it's going to a good place. And we're super grateful. Like you mentioned earlier, what we're doing in terms of trying to get the TBT to Boise next year. A big part of that is putting a good showing out on Wednesday. I want to have a full gym and be able to show these guys at TBT, like, hey, this community loves hoops. And we know this, from CSI all the way up here and throughout the state and region. Like, this is a basketball community. And I really want to be able to put on a good showing Wednesday so that I can go back to these guys with TBT and the people I've connected them with locally to try and make some of the logistical, all the good bigwig business stuff happen. I want to show them that the love for the game is here, and that's what we can do on Wednesday.
James Reid, our guest for a couple more minutes, the head coach of the TBT team, the general manager, once a Bronco, in town this week for some events. And we kept this under wraps a little bit, James. If you're in town, we want you to come to the game. There is no reason if you were in town to not come to the game. But if you do live in Portland, as somebody asked me about last week, if you do live in Austin, Texas, as I know Nate Staley does down there, some other folks, we get a lot of viewers that are big BSU fans that are from outside the Treasure Valley. We are pumped to announce that there will be some sort of stream. I'm not talking ESPN quality broadcast here. We're kind of playing this. We'll see how it goes. But BNN, Bronco Nation News YouTube channel, we will have a live stream and a broadcast of this game on Wednesday night. It may be one camera from way up behind the middle of the stands, but we will do our best. We've got myself, we've got John Mallory, and we've got Tyson Degenhart. They're going to be a part of the broadcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get Tyson involved. Johnny's hilarious. Hopefully we'll get some guys, maybe even when they're on the bench, to come over, or we'll get a mic over. I'll have a long enough mic cord that we can get an in-game comment from James Reid here. We're just going to have a lot of fun with this. And again, quality of the broadcast, don't be expecting, KTVB, ESPN style, but we'll have some sort of video feed and definitely audio and some interviews and things throughout the evening of the 3-point, the slam dunk, and of the game. So we're looking forward to that, and that's going to hopefully add as well. And we'll be sure during the broadcast to get the word out about the ways to donate and things like that, James. But happy that we made it work and BNN can get some sort of stream going for this game.
No, we're really excited. Of course, for all the reasons we just spoke about, we'd love to see you in person on Wednesday, but as all of these guys and myself, my wife and family is in Arkansas. So she's not here, and our guys are flying in from all over, and Bronco Nation is not just in Boise, Idaho, right? And we want to make sure that everyone can be a part of this event, at least in the ability to watch it. And, BJ, all of the help and platform and notoriety you've given us is awesome. And I'm really excited that you're the one doing this deal Wednesday, because I know that regardless of a camera angle, it's going to be well done. And, if you're interested in seeing what the Bronco Legends Classic is like, tune in on Wednesday night.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be our first attempt at a quote-unquote live broadcast. When the basketball team went to Canada last year, we were able to stream kind of this little end of the scrimmage type thing, and I just sat there on press row with a little camera and turned it from left to right, hoping we're a little better than that. We're working on some things to have at least one camera kind of higher up, mid-court like you would see on TV, and then hopefully a secondary one maybe down by the court, especially during the dunk contest and things like that. But we're working on the details. Do need to talk to you off air about that, James, in terms of getting in touch with Bora on some details for that. But Bronco 130 says, I will be there. $10 for that level of basketball is a stupid, easy decision. And then I know after the game, there's going to be some pictures, some autographs. I mean, it's a good opportunity to bring out the whole family.
It's what it's all about. We're going to put 30 minutes on the clock when that last buzzer sounds, and whether it's, Boise State guys or Once a Bronco guys or the local pros guys, they're going to be on the court. And every kid should go out there with their T-shirts ready so that they can get every autograph that they can and grab your photos. And this is what our guys are excited about too. You know, part of the reason it's so easy to recruit these guys to come back is because they're excited to come back and reconnect with this community and fan base. And so, yeah, after the game on Wednesday, we're going to hang out and everyone will come down on the court and be able to get your autographs, get your pictures taken, and really stamp off what's going to be an awesome Wednesday night.
And I know you're hoping folks buy the tickets in advance, but are they available at the door as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You'll be able to walk up and get your tickets. Maybe even can handle it while you're waiting in line for dinner at one of our food trucks. And yeah, walk-ups are more than welcome. You'll be able to get in. And there's
you don't want it to sell out though. Get them in advance. Don't wait around. You don't want to show up at the door and have it be sold out. But this all is obviously leading up to Friday and the matchup with the Enchantment, the number 3 seed, New Mexico. Final thing for you, James. Give us your scouting report, your thoughts on the matchup on Friday here.
You know, there's a lot of moving parts when you're doing this thing, but I've been really excited to get to the basketball. You know, this team in the Enchantment is very good. They've got some very high-level players, but I really do like the matchup for us in a more technical sense that I won't get too deep into. But I think the most exciting part is that this is New Mexico. Like, I don't like New Mexico. No one in the Boise gym yesterday likes New Mexico, and they don't like us. And so I think that the spirit of that Mountain West rivalry being the opening game down there in Houston is going to be a lot of fun. And I know there's a lot of high-level players on both sides, but I'm excited to see what we can organize these next few days here and then go let it rip on Friday.
Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun Friday. All week we'll have coverage. We'll have, as I said, coming to practice tonight, going to get some footage, some interviews. We'll show that tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we can also announce the participants in the 3-point and the dunk contest. And then Wednesday will be a lot of fun over at Bora High School. And then, as I said, Friday we'll have a little pregame show before the game in the morning. We'll have the beat writer from New Mexico that's covered them a long time, talk about some of those players. We'll get the New Mexico coach on as well, Richard Patino. And then maybe check in with you from Houston also if we can, kind of get the game day perspective as well, James. So going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And as Robbie Robinson said, wait, it's a New Mexico team? Well, we've got Max Rice. I mean, if he has owned New Mexico a little bit of late. You have to hope that continues on Friday. But looking forward to it. Going to be a fun week. Looking forward to seeing you this afternoon, James. Thanks so much for joining us, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
BJ, we appreciate you, man. Looking forward to seeing you tonight.
All right, we'll have plenty of coverage, as we said. There he is, James Reid. Appreciate him for jumping on and joining us. And again, Wednesday night, need to pack that place at Bora High School. But if you are unable to attend, we are going to have a live stream of the event up at around 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. So myself, John Mallory, Tyson Degenhardt's going to be involved as well, doing some of the commentary. And then we'll show you what we can in terms of the footage. May not be kind of the typical 5-camera shoot with replays and all that kind of stuff. We'll get you some sort of webcam stream of the game just so you can kind of get an idea for what's going on there. So looking forward to that. All right, we're going to keep the show rolling here. First, want to thank a couple of our sponsors. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out, roepaint.com. All your painting needs. Make sure you check out our title sponsor at roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Mobile eBranch online banking, so easy to use. So happy the Raines family is now part of the ICCU family. Make the switch today at ICCU.com. Matt Bauscher, you just heard he stepped up to sponsor the TBT team. Return the favor. Next time you're looking to buy or sell a home, use Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. The best in the business, BauscherRealEstate.com. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Our studio sponsor. Pick one up at Cutwater Spirits. Perfect for that next game day tailgate, that next round of golf. Anytime you're looking to have a good time, check out Cutwater Spirits. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets, 13 locations around the state of Idaho. I highly recommend that McCall location if you're looking to head up into the mountains or head up to McCall for a couple of days. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Great food. They're coming out with new items that seemingly by the day. SON Management, the Nicolason family. You're looking for that next meal for the family. You will not be disappointed if you take them to Taco Bell. Believe me, I think I'm single-handedly keeping Taco Bell in business with my kids. They love the cheesy roll-ups and all the stuff they have there. So Taco Bell, check them out. And again, they're donating a ton of money to the student-athletes at Boise State. You can get more information on that at TacoBellWorks.com. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. All your Boise State gear, the Ashton Genty Heisman shirts, the NIL shirts, and the new jerseys. Get them at the Blue and Orange Store, online at theblueandorangestore.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. Check them out as well. Lithia Ford Boise, the anniversary sale is going on. They got some great deals right now. You can view that full inventory online, then go in, be ready to test drive, and be on your way in a couple of hours at lithiafordboise.com. TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. We appreciate them as well. Trying to get into the trucking industry, looking for a new job, highly recommend Transportation Compliance Service. And again, all the permits and things you need, they can help you out. Transportation Compliance Service. Did you guys see Ahmed Hassani, now the newest member of the Lean Feast family? They got an NIL deal with Ahmed Hassani and Lean Feast. Prater and I are going to get out to Lean Feast here in the near future to do a broadcast as well. So get on out to Lean Feast. Dave and his staff do a tremendous job. Healthy eating. And now there's no excuse because they deliver right to your doorstep every single day. So leanfeast.com/Meridian. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. We got a couple comments coming in here. Yes, they do have Bryce Alford playing for them. I believe he either lives in the area or had a camp or something. Obviously has the ties there. Never played for New Mexico, but because of his dad coaching there and stuff, they obviously have the tie there, and he is back to play on this team. And you know what? Boise State, there's one big man on the team that's not from Boise State, but that's okay. They decided that they needed a big man to help compete, and if the best option was somebody outside of the family, I'm sure you guys will welcome him in for that game on Wednesday. And again, one more plug: the game is on Wednesday, so make sure you check that out. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see the
knowing that.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. We are excited. We're going to talk Mountain West basketball here in a second. I was trying to queue up the interview. Letting you guys know, by the way, so here's what's going on. I am writing for Lindy's magazine, and I'm doing the Mountain West and the Big 12 stories. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me. But I figured, why not double up here and give you guys some Mountain West basketball coverage on BNN. Summer rosters, some new coaches, a lot of, different things going on. And we got John Buchanan on here as well. So appreciate you, John. Yeah, a lot of basketball talk, and you found the right spot here with Bronco Nation News, and had a chance to catch up with, Javen last week, and seems like an awesome young man, and looking forward to following him and covering him the next couple of years. But speaking of basketball, Mountain West basketball, I'm doing the Lindy's magazine stories, and I figured I could just do them on the phone, or we could put video behind it and let you guys get to hear some of these interviews as well. So I get it. You may not really care about Wyoming basketball. You're watching because you're a Boise State fan. You may not care about San Jose State basketball, but did my best to try to keep it kind of lively and talk about NIL and some other things going on, and help you get to know some of these teams, some of these new coaches, and some of these rosters heading into the season. So we have a lot of coach interviews that we're going to be playing the next 2 weeks. Most of them are going to be taped. A couple are live, and we're going to have Leon Rice. I taped it with Leon Rice last week. It was 25 minutes. You're not going to want to miss that one. But we're going to start it off with Sundance Wicks, one of my favorite interviews. He's the new Wyoming head coach, was there as an assistant under Linder, went to Green Bay to be the head coach, and now he comes back and is the head coach at Wyoming. So here is our first installment, Lindy's magazine. By the way, I still have no voice. 2 straight days of 6 hours of shows, then coaching my kids baseball over the weekend. Not much of a voice left, so I apologize for that. But Sundance Wicks, the head coach at Wyoming, here on Bronco Nation News. And we continue Bronco Nation News Live, our summer series, catching up with the Mountain West basketball coaches. So I've been telling you guys, I'm doing the Lindy's magazine, the magazine you can pick up in Walgreens, about Labor Day, previewing college basketball, doing that for the Mountain West this year, and thought we could double it up with some content here for BNN over the summer to catch up with the Mountain West coaches. And first couple of coaches here have been some new coaches, or in your case, Coach Wicks returning to the league, but now back as the head coach at Wyoming. But congratulations on the gig, Sundance Wicks, head coach at Wyoming, and appreciate you popping on for a couple minutes. How you doing?
I appreciate it, BJ, man. Life is good in Paradise right now. So we're undefeated. We're 0-0, and everybody's happy, right?
Well, you take the job May 12th, and that's obviously a lot later than a typical coach gets a job, whether it be March or maybe early April. So a lot of players had committed. A lot of players had already transferred. I mean, that's got to be – in this day and age, it's never easy no matter when you get a job and have to rebuild the roster. But getting the job May 12th, coming back where you were an assistant here for 3 years, so obviously you are familiar with the area and the program and all that. But just what's it been like since you got the job and just trying to rebuild this roster?
I think a lot of the experience at Green Bay helped just as far as, going into the portal and knowing that, we had about 2 months span there, about 53 days where we signed, 10 guys on the roster, and being able to get here May 12th and understand how you have to navigate nowadays in the portal to fill 10 more spots, basically re-recruit some of the guys who are already on the roster, but then fill 10 more spots in 30 days. Knowing that, it's always a chemistry experiment. This is what college basketball is nowadays. It's a social experiment. It's like real world, you got 13 strangers living under one roof, what could go wrong? And you're trying to get as much familiarity as you possibly can with them. And so having some of the guys that obviously we recruited to Green Bay that we thought were obviously better than Green Bay, coming with us to Wyoming, and then re-recruiting the roster that Coach Linder had in place, which I thought some of the guys that he had already recruited were really, really good, and we wanted to make them stay. I just had to convince that we were the right people, and it was going to be the right program for them. And the good thing is, working for Linder for 3 years there's a lot of influence there for me. That was why I came to work for him. I wanted to understand how he worked his spacing, his re-spacing, his manipulation of spacing, his ball screen actions, and just the way he taught it. And he's very gifted in that, as you well know. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the country. And so that was an easy sell for us to talk to the players who are already here, and then to do it in 30 days. You kind of live in the office. I mean, I got an air mattress in my office right now. I'm not living anywhere. I lived in the dorms at Green Bay for 3 months, and I'm going to live for 2 months in the office right now while we get our summer stuff going.
Wow. So tell us about the roster. And to be completely honest, I had another coach jokingly during the interview said, hold on, let me check my roster again. He's trying to remember the names of his players, and it's hard to see who's left, who's gone, and what updated rosters are online. I know your sports information department's done a tremendous job trying to help out, and I know you still have a spot or two left as of now, I believe. But just take us through the roster a little bit and some of the highlights, and just, you mentioned trying to re-recruit some guys. It doesn't look like you have any returning starters back, but in terms of returning players versus returning, or I guess recruits that were committed to the program already, and then what you were trying to go find out in the portal as well.
Yeah, we're full now, so that's a good. No more spots to fill, BJ. Thank God.
There you go. I'm talking to the Fresno State coach in a little bit. I'm going back and this is can never remember a more confusing time as a media member, and I'm sure just for a coach, it's just as crazy here. So congratulations for being done. Then there you go.
No, that's a tip of the cap right there to our staff and getting all that done. But returning players, obviously Kobe Newton, who I think is an ultimate competitor, and is if it weren't for a couple injuries last year, where he sat out a good chunk of the season, I think he would have been extremely impactful. He's got high gravity. He shoots the crap out of the basketball. Love him as a weapon and as a competitor. You have Ole Koyenets, who came back, and that's our 7-footer, right, where we're going to really rely on him a lot more this year. He's going to have an increased role. And I think big depth is important in the Mountain West. I think you got to have good guard depth, and you got to have good big depth. And then if you can have those versatile swing wings that can defend multiple positions, that's kind of how we look to stack our roster. So bookends got to be filled, and then you got to have versatile defenders, basically your 2 through 4 positions that can switch 1 through 5, or they can switch 1 through 4, at least for us. So with Oleg, Kobe, you got coming back, and then for us, we had to go find a really dynamic guard, and Linder had already had Obi Agbin committed from Fort Lewis, Division II All-American, like 56-4 in his last 2 years, wins at a high level, super dynamic. Very unassuming as far as when you look at him from his frame. So we got Obi and Kobe sitting there at the 1s, 2s. AJ Wills transferred from Holy Cross for us. And then when you're looking at another guard, I think probably the 2 most important guards for us right now as far as their development and progression into this league are going to be our swing wings in Dante Allen, the 3 most important, Dante Allen, Mattia Milic, and Jordan Nesbitt. And all 3 of those guys have really impressive metrics. The numbers really like them, and we project a lot of stuff here. Is what we do when you're in the NIL space. You got to work a little money ball here. So I think those 3 swing wings are going to be extremely important for us. And then you throw in Toko from Denver, who the numbers love him as well, and he's going to be our 4. Yeah, Abu Magasa, who transferred from St. Louis, who redshirted last year, gives us a little bit more force, strength, depth. And then our big guys with Scotty Abube, who we had committed to Green Bay, who I thought on a per 40 average, there would have been 3 players in the country. If he was in shape enough to play 40 minutes, on a per 40 average, he would average about 24 and 13, which would be like Zach Edey and Great Osabar. Wow. So he's a load, and I think his metrics from a projection standpoint are really good. And then Cole Henry, who's a 6-year guy from Missouri Valley, Northern Iowa, who's won championships in the Missouri Valley, tough, hard-nosed competitor, just your everyday type of guy. I call him like Jake Taylor from Major League. You know, he's that catcher. You know, he's just seen it all, right? He's just been around the block. I think that's kind of the quick of it. You know, you got two freshmen, that one redshirt last year, Nigel Cook, who could be dynamic and shoot the crap out of the basketball as well. And then Javion Starwood, who's a freshman from Chicago, a 6'3" lefty who's got some stuff to him. And so there's a lot of unknowns for us right now. I think the knowns are that we're going to have to be connected and we're going to be really competitive. The unknowns are how we are going to compete night in, night out early in the season, as we will try to build this towards playing our best basketball in March. So we haven't even started workouts yet, BJ, to be honest with you. We pivoted because we were so late to start in July 1. And everybody else is probably 2 to 3 weeks deep. And we're probably going to pivot every year and start July 1 just because the season's longer now and the recruiting season has kind of been stretched out. And so we'll start July 1. We'll keep it more like an NBA vet camp. We'll get our guys in here for 6 weeks and then give them a quick break before school starts and get right back at it.
What's it like as a coach, the uneasiness feeling? And maybe it's excitement. I'm sure it's excitement as well. But just as you said, you put this whole roster together and you're looking at it on paper and going through names. You're like, I think we're going to be good. I like this roster, but you haven't seen them all together for even a single practice yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's your paper tigers right now. Your paper tigers, and to that extent, you know, we're trying to dive a lot into the numbers and really educate our guys on the value of shot selection. You know, their pitch count. You know, where they can take balls and where they can swing. And not just know that it's not equal opportunity. Not everybody gets to shoot crappy shots, right? We gotta understand what our digital DNA is, and so that's going to be a lot of the learning curve for these guys coming into our program. Is we rely heavily on the metrics, but also our feel for who plays well together, and then the most competitive lineups, the most connected lineups. Who's your best defensive lineup, offensive lineup? That's the fun stuff right now. That's the stuff you get to find out. And there's a little bit of uneasiness about it, but at the end of the day, we're not the only team in this boat. Right. I mean, Calhoun took the job at Utah State. I was just coaching against him a couple months ago. He just got the job about a month or so earlier than I did. So he's got a month head start, and he just got to be around his guys a little bit more in the spring to see exactly who he's working with.
Sundance Wicks, our guest here on Bronco Nation News, talking about the Wyoming basketball program, Mountain West basketball. But it does sound like, Coach, that again, you haven't seen him practice, you haven't seen them together. But I mean, I know you're a high energy type guy, but I mean, it sounds like you like your group. I mean, do you think this group's gonna? I'm sure you'll be picked near the bottom of the standings. Probably, no one's going to be expecting much from you, probably. But I mean, it sounds like you think you guys can surprise some people?
We like DFL, to be honest with you. I've taken the last 3 jobs I've been as a head coach. We were picked DFL first year, and I hope everybody votes as DFL. To be honest with you, that's just part of the ride for us is loving that chip on the shoulder. If anybody tries, the worst thing they can do is overproject us right now and try to think that we're actually going to be any good. I just all those things don't mean crap in the preseason, as you well know. But it's fun to have a little bit of locker room fodder, and you can mess with it a little bit. But I really like our guys, right? Like I really dive more into the character of the man. We like to recruit guys with scars. I think you've heard me say that before, like not an easy pass or maybe something's gone wrong. I think they're a little bit more humble when they come into the next situation, a little more grateful for it. Those are the type of guys I like to coach, guys with high level of gratitude and a high level of humility. Doesn't mean they don't have an ego still, because great players still have egos. They still think they're pretty damn good, and they have some irrational confidence. But maybe something just went wrong or didn't go exactly the way they thought it was going to go at their last stop or somewhere on their journey. But then the second trait, another trait they have to have is they have to have winning somewhere in their profile, whether that was in high school, state championships, or winning in college or winning in junior college. They have to have winning at a high level somewhere in their DNA. And we don't recruit anybody who's never been a part of a winning program. If they can't win, they haven't figured it out yet. They're not going to figure it out now. So that's just those 2 things for me, man, like the competitiveness and the understanding how to win, and then guys that got a little bit of stuff to them.
Well, my son's only 9, but you sound like somebody I'd like my son to play for, man. It's, I do want to ask, you mentioned the NIL, though, and everybody knows Laramie. I mean, it's a tough place to get to. You're driving to Denver. You're flying to Denver, driving 2 hours. I mean, it is what it is. And what is the NIL situation like there, and how are you trying to stay competitive with the San Diego States and Nevadas and Boise States and New Mexicos in this league, and these teams that and have had some success in recent years or are trying to get into that NIL game as well? Well, what's it like at Wyoming, and what are you trying to do to help build that? Because I mean, it's obviously not the easiest place to recruit to, probably.
We got some tricks up our sleeves out here in Old Paradise. Okay. And so we can't give them all away out here. Okay. Right. Everybody wants to play. It's like playing poker right now. Everybody wants to think they know what they got in their hand, right? And we're all sitting across the table, and some guy's got his cards right here, and he's kind of winking at somebody like he's got a good hand. He could be bluffing. He could be full of crap. We're all playing a hand right here. But what we're not doing is we're not focusing directly on the money. I think when you start talking about money right away, that's the first part of the conversation. You've already tipped your cap to the fact that it ain't about minutes, and it ain't about production, and it ain't about playing. It's about something else. And we still got to keep the main thing. And we play Moneyball here. So we're the Oakland A's, man. We get it. We're not trying to be the Yankees. You'll hear me talk. Well, I'll reference Moneyball a lot in my tenure here, where we're just going to have to think differently and win in the margins. And so we'll think differently analytically, as far as like what we'll hire as a general manager position here. So we'll have our own Jonah Hill here talking about how we can win in those margins. It'll mess with people a little bit because you're going to get undervalued players. You're going to get overlooked players, underrated players. That maybe fall below the quote unquote, money line that people are looking for out there. And that doesn't mean they're not worth it. To me, like your worth is not based on what someone's going to pay you. Your worth is based on your production and your results as a human being. And so I have a lot of empathy for those guys that have a lot of money right now. They're in NIL pot and aren't winning because it's going to piss off some boosters. I have a lot of empathy for those guys that are spending and aren't seeing the results. Right. And so one thing if I'm an investor and you're looking for an ROI, I'm going to make sure that we treat your donation like it's my own checkbook. And we're going to make sure that you see that return on it. You're going to be like, man, we spent pretty well on that. We're not going to overspend. Right. We're not going to underspend. We're going to hit you right where you need to be hit. And that's the way I say Wyoming's got some stuff up their sleeves. I mean, they're going to look after their own now. And so we got some stuff going in the works right here that I think will be good coming down the stretch. I'm not going to try to sell my hand so everybody else tries to steal our ideas out of here. That's intellectual property, BJ.
Leon Rice wouldn't do that. Come on. But you mentioned Jonah Hill. I just hope your general manager, whenever you get a commitment or something big goes like that scene where they have the trade, where he's like,
yeah.
Yes, you knew where I was going with that. I love that.
A lot of memes out there, BJ.
That's awesome. Well, I guess final thing or two for you, Coach. What do you make of the league? I mean, I know you haven't studied all the rosters and teams and all that, but you're familiar with the road venues in this league and the coaches in this league. I mean, for a coach like yourself, and there are a couple other newcomers as well, but trying to rebuild this roster in this program, not probably the easiest league to do that in year one.
This is a great league. It is the premier league on the West Coast. All right, call it what you want. People want to say Power 5, Power 6. Pac-12 dropped out. Ken Palm has you ranked, basically with the Pac-12 out now 6th based on last year's numbers. But let's be honest, it's all based on bids, right? So if the Big 12 and the SEC got 8 and us, the Mountain West and the Big 10 got 6, then we're the 4th best league in the country, period. And so that's a testament to the coaches that are in the league. It's a testament to the teams, the stability, the region. I mean, we're not fighting for scraps over here on the West Coast now. Like, we are the league on the West Coast. So I know this. It attracts high-level coaches. You're going into high-level venues. One thing we sell when we're recruiting, we're selling that you're going to play in some of the best venues in the United States of America. You're playing packed houses. You're playing people that care. The 21-22 season, BJ, when we had the just random court storms of all time, like the most random court storms in the middle of the season because every game was that meaningful. Don't tell me it wasn't the same way last year. Where you're fighting for 6 bids and every game you play down the stretch, you're just like, God dang, this is a tough one. Like, we got to win this one. And the level of competitiveness that these players have, the level of competitiveness that these coaches have, the rosters have all turned over a little bit from last year to this year because I thought it was a really, really good class of kids, class of players last year. But that doesn't mean that they're not just reloading and rebuilding. This is the funnest league in the United States of America, in my opinion. All right, we're up a little later than some of those East Coast times, right? Like, we're the last shows on television. So people that are trying to get their fix late night, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight on the East Coast, they're watching Mountain West basketball. And that's what they should be doing because Mountain West isn't just Mountain West. It's Mountain Best, baby. We're here. All right. I love this league.
Well, don't get me started on court stormings, Coach. I'm coming around though. I was kind of the old man. I thought it needed to be kind of a really special top 10 type upset, and then fans were getting on me for being the old grandpa that doesn't like to have any fun or whatever. So I'm trying to come around.
BJ, let them live.
I'm trying. Any game the kids want to come storm the court, let them have the fun. But Coach, we appreciate your time. I know you got a lot to do. We'll let you get back to it, but looking forward to seeing Wyoming and see this roster come together, and looking forward to October or so, get down to Vegas for Mountain West Media Days, get a chance to catch up with you and do this again in person. So thanks for your time, and best of luck this season, sir.
BJ Rains, Paddle River, let her buck.
Hey, there he is. We appreciate Sundance Wicks, the head coach at Wyoming. Again, make sure you follow us on YouTube. YouTube.com/Bronco Nation News. Subscribe there. We're about 130 away from 5,000. Help us get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers as quick as we can. YouTube.com/Bronco Nation News. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on Twitter, please switch over real quick and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us get to 5,000. If you can hit that like button in the corner of the screen, we would really appreciate that as well. So interesting stuff there from Sundance Wicks, the Moneyball style. They're going to go to, they don't have a lot of money. It's hard to get players to go there. They're going to go Moneyball and try to look at efficiency numbers and tell guys where to shoot and really dive into the analytics. So BSU Bill says Wicks is a very likable guy. Hard not to root for Wyoming when they aren't playing Boise State. I agree with that. I really enjoyed chatting with him. So I think that he's going to be a good coach to have in the league. And again, every day this week, we'll talk to another coach. We've got Utah State. We've got Tim Miles. I may go Tim Miles tomorrow, San Jose. He talked about Alvaro Cardenas and Boise State a little bit. So maybe Tim Miles from San Jose State tomorrow. We've got Jared Calhoun from Utah State. We've got Vance Wahlberg, the new coach at Fresno State. Joe Scott at Air Force. We've recorded already as well. Nico Medved will be on Friday. We got Leon Rice as well. Still looking to record or have live with Nico Medved and Steve Alford. So we still are, going to get to all the schools. The only coach that respectfully declined a video was Brian Dutcher at San Diego State. I talked to him on the phone, but he did not want to have video. We may try to splice it together and get the audio in here for a couple bites at least. We'll see. We'll get to all those coaches here as we get gear up. Who's going to start at the 2? Buchanan, Meadow, or Lockett? I think Buchanan certainly is going to have a strong case to be a starter or a major contributor right away. And I'm not just saying that because I think his family member is watching here. I think Buchanan, from what I've heard, he is a high-level player. You don't turn down Texas Tech and do some of the things that have some of the offers and things that he has if you're not going to come in and be a major contributor. So Andrew Meadows going to play a ton. Chris Lockett's going to play a ton. And Buchanan's going to obviously play a ton as well. I think you can't go wrong with all three of those guys there, but it would not shock me at all to see Javen Buchanan in the starting lineup come day one. Football fall camp starts on 31st. July 31st is the first practice there. So we'll talk basketball this week. We'll get back to football next week. There's not much going on with football. But again, hope to see you Wednesday night, 6 p.m., Bora High School, $10 tickets. You get autographed pictures, all your favorite former Broncos. Current Broncos will be there as well. They're working out some of the final details before we announce what's going on with the current team. But again, 6 p.m. Wednesday, and if you cannot make it, we will have some sort of a basic web stream on Bronco Nation News with, probably just a basic one camera from kind of center court like you would see on a TV broadcast. But we'll do our best to get you something for those of you that are out of town. We're looking to do that on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. I've actually got to talk to the head coach at Houston, Kelvin Sampson. I'll be chatting with him in a couple of minutes for Lindy's. Not going to do that on video. We're not going to get the Big 12. I'm doing the Big 12 as well. We're not going to put the Big 12 on video, just the Mountain West ones. But looking forward to catching up with Kelvin Sampson. And then, again, we'll be out there at practice for the TBT team later today. We'll get you some footage, some interviews tomorrow. But tomorrow, Jay Tuss will join me. We'll have Tim Miles from San Jose State as well. So we continue our Mountain West Summer Series here. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Thanks so much. Go subscribe if you can. $50 using that promo code BNN50 deal. Sign up at BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you. Mike Prater's got a new column up there. And again, appreciate all of you guys for your help and support of spreading the word on what we're trying to build here at Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. So thank you guys for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button there in the bottom of the screen. Go subscribe to the channel too if you're not already a subscriber. Help us get to 5,000. And we'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow with Jay Tust here at Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.